Welcome to the Mama Needs a Moment podcast with your hosts, Chrissy and Cindy, co-founders of Her Plus Health Collective, and moms who understand the chaos of juggling it all. But here's the thing, your well-being matters. That's why we're on a mission to change the way moms take care of themselves. This season, every episode features a roundtable conversation, bringing together trusted experts from different backgrounds to talk about the topics that matter most to moms, creating space for more collaborative whole person care. These episodes are short, meaningful, and easy to fit into real life. You'll hear from our Her Plus expert providers sharing expert insight and real-life tips you can use right away. Learn more about them in our free provider directory linked in the show notes. So take a deep breath, grab your coffee, and let's make these moments count. Welcome to the Mama Needs a Moment podcast, and a special welcome to our Her Plus expert providers that are joining us for today's roundtable conversation on what is really happening to mom's skin. We're going to be talking about things such as sleep, stress, hormones, all the different things that affect skin throughout our lives. Many moms notice changes like melasma, breakouts, dryness, or sensitivity during different stages of motherhood. In our next several episodes, we're exploring how factors like hormones, stress, sleep deprivation, and perimenopause can affect our skin and which treatments and routines actually make a difference. Before we begin, we'll have each of our experts briefly introduce themselves and share their area of focus. And a quick reminder that our podcast episodes are also available in video format on our YouTube channel.
Good morning. Good afternoon. I'm Abby DeVries. I'm a family medicine physician and a certified menopause practitioner here in Durham. I have a practice that's specifically devoted to women in midlife, and so deal with lots of issues, including a lot of skin and hair issues as well. So nice to see you. Thanks for having me.
I'm Stephanie Opper. I am a licensed esthetician and the owner of a skin spa, Sensational Aesthetics, in Wake Forest. I've been practicing for 10 years. I work with moms, women, older women, men and teens as well. And I see this all of the time. So I'm glad to be here.
I'm Kate Lehman. I'm a nurse practitioner and certified nurse midwife. And I have been working in the community for about 15 years, attending births and taking care of moms. Recently, I opened up my own practice to focus on some of the areas that I felt were most overlooked in women's healthcare: early pregnancy, the first postpartum year, and perimenopause. They all have a lot of hormonal changes and a lot of big lifestyle changes. So that has become my area of focus.
Farzaneh Rezai. I am a scientist. I'm a microbial formulation scientist, mom to two teenagers. I, post-graduation, once I received my PhD, for about 2 decades, I have worked in various different industry where the focus has been the microbiome of whatever that environment was, whether it's soil microbiome, animal gut microbiome. And a few years ago, I started my own startup, which now I'm focusing on, in general, human microbiome. And my interest is a skin microbiome. And learning from a skin microbiome, my background basically and my expertise is how to develop the biological product that actually helps that microbiome. Now, I have products that developed and launched last year. They are living probiotic-based skincare that focus on your microbiome. Really great to be here. Thanks.
Thank you for having me. I'm impressed with this amazing group of women who's so smart. I have been a board certified dermatologist for about almost 20 years now. I used to work in academic medicine initially and opened up my own practice here in Cary about almost 4 years ago now, and just wanted to offer more of a boutique style approach, more customized to the patient, something where we could really offer what we wanted to our patients. And we see a wide range from little kids to older adults, skin cancers to cosmetics, and just really enjoy the work. And I love this group because one of the things that kind of I'm very passionate about is being that village for women. So I'm happy to be here.
Thank you so much for having me here. So my name is Tiffany Webb. I am a licensed esthetician of 15 years now. And so in my journey in this industry, I have worked with, all different types of skin types, both men and women. I currently teach part-time at the Aveda Institute. And then I also have my own skincare studio, Stillness and Skin. And where there I focus mainly with working with women who are aging and in that kind of hormonal flux of perimenopause, menopausal skincare. But things that happen hormonally when you're pregnant that can also kind of throw a little bit of a kink in our typical skincare routines. So I'm just, again, happy to be here, super excited to chat with all these amazing women.
There's one thing most moms have in common. It's that we are often running on less sleep and carrying a pretty significant mental load for the majority of our lives after having kids. Whether it's middle of the night wake ups or managing busy schedules or just constantly thinking about everyone else's needs. Many moms also notice that during these particularly stressful or sleep deprived seasons, their skin changes too. There's more breakouts, more inflammation, or just looking tired no matter what products they try. I notice it a lot under my eyes. So, how do stress and sleep actually impact our skin? And what's happening in the body that causes all of the changes?
Sleep is so vital for all of us, even, no matter at what point. But what happens is when we're lacking that sleep, we're not getting that kind of proper nourishment, even with food. Because I know as a mom, sometimes I'm also like, the things I grab to snack on are not the greatest, right? But I'm just like, I can eat it, I'm on the go. But what begins to happen is we kind of create like this inflammation in the body. Sugar also, which is typically in a lot of the snacks that we may grab, creates glycation in the body, which also then kind of breaks down our collagen and elastin. So our body is slightly inflamed. It's got like this sugar rush that's not really great for our skin. And so during that process, especially you may not be able to regain that sleep, right? But having some conscious moments almost in your day. A lot of what I do also in my practice is about like presence, deep breathing, just really allowing like your body, your nervous system. I know that's kind of like a popular thing right now, but it's very true to allow you to kind of have those moments. So even as a mom, like, okay, if I'm kind of running and maybe I do get like 5 minutes to myself in the bathroom, prioritizing that moment of like, okay, you know what, even as I just sit here, let me just breathe. Don't scroll, because I think that's another thing, right? We get on our social media, we check our emails, and we don't give our brains a moment or our body as a whole just a second to just like, okay, like let it go. Okay, like I don't need to be anywhere. I don't need to do anything. And the amazing thing is that our body, even in like those short bursts of moments, if we can activate that parasympathetic nervous system, which is what's happening when we rest and digest, even in those like a 3 to 5 minute moment, it can be so beneficial to the body itself, which then kind of helps us kind of get some reserves going. Because when we're lacking, right, when we're kind of in that state where we don't have like all that we necessarily need as far as like sleep or nutrition, those like little vital moments, they really do matter. They really do help build us back up, because the body will only like flourish and nourish itself when it kind of has some type of excess, when it's had a moment to rebuild. And so just like I said, pulling those moments, super important.
I think there's actually some data showing that if you can get those couple of minutes a couple of times during the day, that you'll actually have more restful sleep. Because if you don't find the time when you're awake, your body will find it when you're asleep, and it'll further disrupt your sleep. So I think it's good for kind of just overall lowering your stress level, but also for making sure that you get more restful sleep. The other thing I would say is hydration. Hopefully people can at least be in charge of that, considering electrolytes if you need it, because the hydration will, lack of hydration will make your skin, look more fragile and be more irritated. So prioritizing that, especially if women are nursing and losing lots of fluid that way. And then just thinking about as you age, if you're not sleeping well, if you're, late 30s or older, you could be in perimenopause and you may have the nighttime awakening with your family responsibilities, but then have trouble falling back asleep. And then considering whether you could be in early perimenopause and whether there's some hormone support that you could need that would help you to get more restful sleep, to improve your overall well-being and also your skin.
This episode is brought to you by Her Circle, the ultimate community for moms looking for real connections, meaningful experiences, and expert support.
From mom's night out and family adventures to book club, volunteer opportunities, and expert workshops, Her Circle is where moms come together to learn, laugh, and lift each other up.
Spots are limited, so join the waitlist at herhealthcollective.com/membership.
I think that when you sent this topic over, I thought it was really excellent because stress has a real measurable effect on our skin. And I think that's so fascinating because stress is something that affects all of us and we can't eliminate it. We can just control and manage it. And when we think about dermatological skin conditions, it's more than 50% of our skin conditions are affected by our stress. So it's pretty significant numbers. And no matter what medicine or cream or whatever we can give you, if the stress isn't managed, we can't really get to, a cure or a relief. So, cortisol in terms of like measurable effects, we know, which is a stress hormone, it's increased and it causes increased oil production or sebum production, which leads to exacerbation of your acne. We know that it decreases your barrier function in your skin, which also causes more irritation, more exacerbation of your already pre-existing skin conditions like eczema, psoriasis, rosacea, any of those things. And also, most of all, that it breaks down collagen and elastin, which leads to the wrinkling, the sagging, all those things that we're trying to fight. So, stress management is so important. And I agree with what Tiffany said about, activating the parasympathetic nervous system. There's these vagus nerve stimulation exercises you can do, and they've actually been found to be really helpful. And I think now medicine is doing a little bit better with trying to be more holistic in our approach of treatments instead of saying, here's a prescription, do this. So I think there's better things coming. But I also want to say just about sleep, I think that's one of those things that often gets sacrificed for moms. And, there's our list of things to do is never ending. And so I think just really prioritizing your sleep is so important and, maintaining a good sleep routine right before you go to bed, not going on your phone. We know that screens activate a wave in our brain that is not as relaxing as reading. So, as easy it is to pick up your phone and scroll, it's not a good way to fall asleep. And then also, if you sleep less than 5 hours, your skin is not able to enter something called recovery mode. And during recovery mode is when you have increased hydration of your skin, you have breakdown of cells that have abnormal mutations in them. So you're increasing your risk for skin cancer. So really that recovery mode that your skin needs to enter during sleep only happens if you're getting a good solid 7 hours of sleep. And so that's really critical.
Just thinking about all the phases in life. In my 20s, I, purposefully avoided sleep because I wanted to do fun things. And then you become a mom and you just regret like not getting the sleep that you needed. And then again, with teenagers and then in the perimenopause, it, biologically, you just have so many issues that interfere with your sleep. And when sleep is affected, your mood is affected, your executive function is affected. So I really encourage the women that I work with to just simplify their lives and make different lifestyle choices that support them during these transitions, like automate whatever you can automate, have your groceries delivered, meal kits. You are going to be eating some goldfish, here and there, and that's okay. But, focusing on feeding the gut microbiome, like we talked about, making sure your refrigerator is stocked with fermented foods and prebiotics, lots of fiber, that's so important from like a foundational aspect. Just giving yourself, some grace, just trying to simplify um, and get sleep when you can, naps throughout the day. And we know that things like progesterone and perimenopause are really helpful with sleep. And estrogen can be helpful for any of the vasomotor symptoms like hot flashes. So talking to someone that can help you in those areas is really important.
So they call it beauty sleep because that is too that's the time when your skin is rebuilding and repairing itself. But there's just so many things going on that's going to take the hit, right? Because we have a lot of other things that we're doing. And so some things that I would say that you could do just to help with it while you're up, put a mask on, a hydrating mask. It's not going to be the cure, but it can help. It can help you feel better too inside, because I think a lot of this too, we really are hard on ourselves, and we're so worried about it all that just do some simple things like doing the breathing exercises, resetting that nervous system, because at the end of the day, all the stuff that is going on in your body from those extrinsic are causing the intrinsic. And so, trying to control that, but get a hydrating mask, sleep in it. You don't even have to take it off. Just do that. Any lymphatic exercises or detoxes, vibration plates, red light therapy, all of that kind of stuff is really simple and effective. Just to give you that extra bit and helping with inflammation in your body. Even those, the walking pads, they're inside. You can do things like that. I mean, I would say just, go for the walk around the block. Do it. Push yourself. Just go ahead and do it, because that just little thing like that is going to help as well.
Thank you so much for that. I think through this entire thread, what I'm hearing is yes, beauty sleep is real. Sleep is really, really important. And also all the little simple things we hear all the time to take care of ourselves and our body. It matters for our skin too. It's not just for our physical body, but it's also for that biggest organ, as was mentioned, is the skin. So I appreciate that. It's a very important conversation to have. So you heard it here, mamas, go get that rest. Be sure to check out the YouTube channel if you'd like to see the video and all these beautiful faces as we talk about these wonderful topics. And you can always check out herhealthcollective.com and our directory to find these providers and learn more about them and their practice.
Come back for our next episode where you can get more information from our Her Plus expert providers in this current roundtable discussion on what's really happening to mom's skin, talking about all things skin, sleep, stress, and hormones.
That's a wrap. You carved out a few moments just for yourself, and that's a big deal.
We understand that time is limited, but we've got your back, which is why we keep these episodes short, sweet, and packed with goodness.
Don't miss a thing. Hit the follow button so you're always the first to know when a new episode drops. If you had as much fun as we did, let us know by leaving a review.
And remember to let other moms know that we're here doing motherhood alongside you. Grateful to share a few moments taking care of you.